Hey, good morning, guys. So CPI came in hotter than expected. We were expecting 8.1%. We got 8.3%. Last month was 8.5%, so lower than last month. The only thing here is now, for me, it's too early to say what's going to happen. I have no idea. I'm going to stay open-minded to the upside and downside. Whatever comes, I'll play it. As simple as that. For me to call something too early, I don't know what's going to happen. I just know one thing. Not a single person in this world knows what the next candle is going to be, right? But for now, what we do have is this right here, this strong support that we did go over yesterday as well. We broke underneath it. The question is, do we hold underneath this? Do we continue holding underneath this? And the longer we hold underneath this, it's going to build into a bearish flag. There's, eventually sellers will take over, then we'll probably see much lower. And I also understand one other thing, that in order for the VIX, I've been saying this for a long time now, in order for the VIX to hold above 30, this level continuously, it's been here for some time now. In order for this to continuously hold here, we need an event. We need a major headline. We need something that's going to come in as breaking news in the market, and then whatever happens. So yes, I'm open to both. I've been writing Microsoft puts for a while. I'm holding them for a reason in case something like this happens. So I'm kind of prepared, right? But again, staying mostly cash and day trading. All right. So this matters a lot to me. This VIX just holding above here, it matters a lot, because usually when it starts holding like this, I do understand they usually cool it off, right? And then we get the Vanna rallies here. Those Vanna rallies are simply as bear market rallies. They're based on options. I send this stuff every morning. It is up to you to understand it. It requires a lot of work, a lot of understanding, and I'll go over some things that I can probably help you guys with today, right now in pre-market, right? So that's the VIX. Let's see if it continues holding. And today the market is already reacting negatively to the CPI, right? Obviously, I mean, if the number was higher, it was a given that we're gonna dump. If the number is high, we're probably gonna rip. But the question is, what happens after the market opens, right? The only comment I can make is, the longer we hold under 4,000, weakness builds, and more chances of 3,900 and 3,800. All right, 3,900 and 3,800. Longer term, some of you guys asked me, when will I start buying leaps? Those leaps I will start buying here at this level is where I will start scaling in small. And they will not be something I want to hold, because the market can go sideways for many months, even 1 year, even 2 years if required. All right, my ultimate target is right here. If I just go on the daily, where is it? This breakout right here. You guys see this first 200 MA, these candles, where do they line up? So roughly 3,700. So this level right here, now these swings that I'm going to add at these levels, they're not something I'm going to be holding for too many months. It's just going to be for a few weeks of play, because eventually in between we will get some upside momentum, right? And then underneath this, obviously we have this right here, which happens to be 35, right? It's one zone at a time. And then we have all the way right here, this little gap that we have, right? So Kemani, there's a gap right here that needs to be filled, just for information, right? Because I know you've been looking at some gaps right here around this level. There's a gap that needs to be filled roughly at 3,200 SPX. All right, and this is absolutely possible. And one thing I do recommend, I recommended before, to understand this high inflation and what might happen in the markets, go ahead and read up on Paul Walker. You guys will understand a lot more. It will make a lot more sense, and you guys can see what Fed might do, right? They may increase rates much even higher than 75 if they have to, right? Because they might be hiding a lot of things from us which we don't know, right? So this man right here, you guys need to read up on him. I always tell you guys this for a reason. Your mind will open up to what's possible in this market. All right, now back to options. I sent you guys one chart. If we hold under 4,000 and Q's under 300, so I'll write this down here. So Q's under 300, right? Weakness possible. All right, there could be a dump. Now, one thing I do want to let you guys know, I'm going to remove all this. This is one scenario. The other scenario is that we have, if we reclaim 4050 and 4100, I don't know where we are right now, but 4100 to the upside, right? 4300 or roughly 4200, I forgot the level, between 4200 4300 maybe in play, and then we see what happens. All right, and also market is setting up for good Vanna rallies. Question is when. I will alert as soon as I see my chart set up, as soon as I get my signal. And if I, as per my understanding of the day I think is going to happen, I will let you guys know. All right. And also I sent this in the group yesterday, this right here. A very nice tutorials. On the left, they have all this information. You know, I found them pretty good. Even up to today, I keep refreshing my mind. I keep reading like last night I was reading up all these things one more time just to refresh my mind. And there's a lot of stuffs in the Greeks. You know, Gurvinder, you messaged, Bucky, you messaged last night. You know, some of you guys are probably scared to message, or not scared, but just don't want to ask. But these are the things that you guys can learn. Delta, gamma, theta, vega. These are very important. These four you must learn if you trade options, right? It's good to have an understanding of what moves the option. You will be able to figure out the fair price. And then obviously we have Rho, Volga, then Vanna and Charm. These Vanna and Charm are right now in play with the current market situations. Or they're not always in play, but when the market is in a nice uptrend, these are not really there all the time. But when there's high volatility, when there's increased IB, Vanna and Charm are in play. And if you want to go further, more advanced, there's Black-Scholes formula, there's color, there's speed. Greeks are never ending, all right. But these four, delta, gamma, theta, vega, I highly recommend that you guys understand. And there's a lot to read on these. And the day you guys understand how to read these curves, your life will like the day you understand this, how to read this, what exactly it means, your options trading will be different, I promise you. But this requires a lot of work. It has taken me a long time to get to this level and understand. It's not something I can just start explaining it to you. Not that easy, right? And then I've got my NDX levels here, SPX, and now let's just go over some earnings. And our volatility trigger says 4350. Okay, so coin, as per the title, I have my notes here. So coin absolutely got slapped, right? Coin absolutely got slapped from this IPO 420 all the way to 55, right? Coinbase, you know, and these guys are actually sponsoring a lot of things out there, right? So they've got the money, they've got a few $1 billion cash on hand, but right now in pre-market they got you know, on earnings, they basically they report a quarterly loss, you know, so they lost $1.98 per share, and loss and guidance, and then their users, they're declining users. Anything that has something to do with users, you show a decline, they're gonna sell you off. All right. Oxy is not doing much, but yesterday, you know, I looked at the options for 65. I was actually gonna buy them with the team, but then I didn't really get my fills. I was trying to get some, but their earnings were good. You know, with the surging oil prices, they reported good earnings. They beat the earnings, but the option pricing was a little too expensive on this, I guess, because of this last squeeze and then the levels held. So I hope if you're in, the chart looks really good. It looks good for a squeeze, but as long as it holds above this 50 MA, I think it can see higher, right? It was just trading near 65 not too long ago. So above 60 hold, and some prices from the oil industry, I guess, more rise, then you guys can definitely see higher. So I hope you guys get paid. The chart looks really good. Unity, another stock that I remember playing in triple digits. Low guidance, right? Sales are down, and they're giving more low guidance. They slapped the stock down also, down at 33. It's a story with almost every growth stock. So this stock is also down a lot. And I'm not looking to buy dips on any of these stocks. Hell no, not yet, because they can also go to penny stocks. All right, I have no idea what's going to happen with these companies. A lot of fundamental research has to be done. And then we got Roblox. Obviously a higher loss than expected. Their guidance was also low, so they are also losing a little bit in pre-market, and some negative comments by the company, right? This stock was at 140, 130, more so hyped up around these levels, right? But look what happened to it. Oh man, I didn't put all my indicators. But again, down. This stock I will also avoid for a dip. I'm just going over these earnings just so you guys know, because many of you guys probably haven't seen these charts for a long time, and man, they're concerning, right? So TM, Toyota. Now, not a chart that most of you guys follow or ever mentioned, but this is the Toyota Motor Corporation. Right, a nice little head and shoulder pattern forming, but they had a comment today that they will face a 20% loss due to their material costs rising in 2022. All right, that's big. So that cuts down 20% from your, you know, other incomes, and which is not good for the auto industry. And we have already seen that the way inflation is, right? And how much are they going to raise the car prices if it goes out of affordability, right? So Recession is already kicking in, so I think it's already on the way. Before the major headlines hit, the market has already crashed, right? When we talk about crash, the most of the market has already crashed, right? MDB, Eric, I believe your name, I forgot. But MDB, just by looking at the weekly chart, now I understand you may love this company. Any company you love, write them down. This company came from 590 all the way to 250. It's at a very strong and a critical support. If you love this company, looks like you posted a few things, and you try to justify your feeling towards the upside. And when you start doing that, you want to be careful. Even though you love this company, make sure you're open-minded that this can come test these levels right here. If you stay open-minded, then you'll know how much size to go in with. Look at all the good companies that people thought of, SC, DOC, and NTLA, right? People are pumping these companies, and now they're down so much, right? So make sure you understand the fundamentals on a longer term basis, and then if you like it, and then small scale ins at this level, and then maybe a small scale in at 90, which happens to be 150 bucks off from this level, and it can happen so fast before you even think, right? I remember people buying this SC stock at these dips, right? They were still trying to justify how it's a great company as this, that, and now it's trading at how much? 68 bucks, and no one's talking about it. But Jeff Bezos made one comment 20 years ago. Our company was doing great, but our stock price was coming down. All right. So sometimes a stock price coming down does not mean the company is bad. Right now, there are some good companies on discount. Do your fundamental research. I don't want to recommend any, right? And I probably won't. This is something that you must do your own fundamental research into, because getting stuck into these investments, it requires a lot of deeper understanding, I think, because many stocks can just go sideways. The only companies that I'll recommend is probably big tech, small scale ins. They've got the money, they've proven their models, and then so on, right? Home Depot also just stuck to this $300 level, just stuck to this 300 zone, and we see what happens here. It's just completely stuck here at 300, right? Do we reverse or do we go up? I have no idea for now, but the stock has come down pretty much straight all the way from 420, right? And now 300 is acting as a very major support. We hold underneath 300. We can definitely see a nice little flush all the way towards this level right here. This is 280, this zone right here, right? 280, and then so on. So let's see what happens. Home Depot is a little tricky play. Bucky, LB, they nailed this play a lot, so you guys might want to wait for their entry, I would say, right? And so today, guys, CPI market will be volatile. The sentiment is negative right now as of things. So let's see what happens.